Welcome to the Apex Sunday podcast, hosted by myself, Robert Ross, and John Dowsett. We're talking about the 2026 MotoGP Grand Prix at COTA Circuit of the Americas. John, first off, a great circuit, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the first that big hill up the first corner, the all through those S's, uh, turns 10 and 11 to get onto that back straight. The back straight corner had a lot of action at it. um, then there's a complex of corners that they're not too slow; they're fast and just such a great challenging course. It's nice to see great circuits always, so I really enjoy that.
What is it, like 340 kilometers down to 70 kilometers an hour
Right?
for
Yeah.
a corner? Like that's just man. And the S's, that's the S's are the are really make the riders shine. They're
hmm
so hard. It's the hardest thing in motorsport, as far as I'm concerned, is S's.
Did you
Getting
did you see
getting.
the Marquez crash in practice through the S's?
I did not.
Okay, all right. Well, I was going to say, like, we'll go into qualifying. We've talked about Mark being sort of matured and changed a bit, but he does do these things. I've seen this before where he gets, it seems like he's flustered and he just loses focus or he just doesn't race properly. He's had a few races where he's just all over the place. For instance, in Argentina in 2018, he screwed up the starting position, got in right, then he got penalized for it, and he just went crazy, went through the field, hitting people and stuff, and he just lost it. And he didn't have to do that. So um, he looks a bit flustered by the results so far this season. I have to say that I'm pretty happy to see Aprilia challenge like this and have Ducati adjust throughout the season. As and KTM, I don't know, like Pedro Acosta, such a standout. But in qualifying, it was rare to see Marquez angry. I'm not sure what he was angry about. He said he was blocked, but I didn't really see it. I thought Mir was a standout, and Enea made a big improvement. But will it last? What are your thoughts on qualifying?
I understand why Mark was upset. I do. I
Mm,
do. I mean, if you're on the racing line and you're not at speed, then you deserve to have a fist shaken in your face, and that's what happened to him.
right.
The penalty destroyed any chance that he could do anything. I kind of disagree with you about KTM. I mean, in a perfect world, what you'd like to see is you'd like to see two, possibly three teams that are fighting
Mm-hmm.
for the podium and
Mm-hmm.
or for the win, I should say. You've got two teams that are fighting for the podium, but you don't have
Yeah.
three teams and you don't have two teams that are fighting for the win right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
as the season develops, I'm sure it'll get better.
Yeah. The Aprilia is just obviously the bike of this season. You can see on the back straight how fast it was, faster than all the other bikes. Looks to be handling very well. Ogura through coming through the race, the way he went, that pass on Fabio Di Gianantonio was voted the pass of the race, and
Rightfully so.
just so precise and
Yeah.
just an amazing race from I. Unfortunately, ended in a technical issue, which is rare. But yeah, the other thing with that really stood out to me was Mir. Did you see that Honda shaking as he was riding
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Like he was wringing its neck, and I thought, well, crash coming, and so he crashed in both the sprint
Yes.
and the race. And you have to wonder, is Honda thinking, is this a way to get research when we wring the neck out of it? What happens versus riding to do it within the perimeters and so forth? But I think Joan Mir needs to, I don't know, reduce wringing its neck so that he scores some points. What are your thoughts on sort of overriding, overdriving? Were you ever, that ever happen to you or?
Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
Um, not to the extent that it went on for more than a couple of laps.
Right.
because it definitely costs speed. But I don't know that if that was costing speed, if that was the only way he could get a decent
Right.
lap time. But my God, what a frazzing experience that would be.
Yeah.
Back to Ogura, though. I mean, it's interesting that in our previous podcast, I said he's got it now. All he needs is to get more aggressive. He got more aggressive,
Yeah. He
and
even
so
said that himself.
oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
He said, my problem is I'm not, I can't remember exactly paraphrasing, but he needs to be more aggressive, particularly in qualifying. Because if he had qualified higher, he could have been easily, well, he might have made the podium without the technical issue. Could have had a win maybe, but anyways, podium for sure. And if we have three Aprilias up there, I'm not sure what happened to Raul Fernandez. Somewhat inconsistent again. But if we have three Aprilias up there, uh, fighting with maybe Mark and Digi, the other Ducatis don't seem to be doing too well,
No.
do they? Um, but the Marquez pass on Digia in the sprint and the penalty that resulted, I'm sort of okay. I mean, it's still a bit of a judgment. Like if you lose it, do you get penalized? But I guess they said, well, he almost inevitably would lose it in that situation. But what struck me is that the pass that Martin made on Pecco at the same corner only successful because Pecco got out of the way from
Yes.
Martin smashing into him.
Yeah.
And no one is talking about that. And I'm shocked that, because to me, that was the most shocking thing. I'm like, this guy's dangerous. He's still a dangerous rider as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
So, and then you saw his crash in the post race.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so what were your thoughts on that pass on Pecco? Like it looked
It was
like,
brutal. It was brutal.
yeah, and
It
it
was. It
reminds
was.
me of,
I'm coming through whether you like it or not, and it was just evil. That the results could have been catastrophic.
mhm,
And it's good, that there was the reaction time of those riders is so extreme.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that has to be right, or you're you're done. But yeah, it was. I was shocked by how close of an accident that was, and I remember Jorge nodding his head in disapproval when Mark passed him 2 seasons ago at Phillip Island, and it was nowhere near as bad as this.
No.
So,
No.
but riders and drivers, it's always less my fault than yours. That's just the way that it usually works.
I'm faster, and you aren't going to get out of my way. I'm going to make my way through. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Not everybody's like that.
right. But back to the sprint. So we had that Marquez crash and the penalty. Bez crashed out of the lead. He's throwing away points, which, given the performance of Jorge Martin, he shouldn't be doing. We'll see how
Yeah.
Martin continues on. I thought the coverage was pretty poor again.
Yes.
Downstream, lots of action missed. They've got to improve that. Um, the race itself was pretty close, but not much passing. Sort of like everyone was at the
Mm-hmm.
same speed until, a guy like I was making his way through. We saw that, the Marquez Bastianini Pecco battle was somewhat interesting. But Bagnaia fell back, and I thought that Pedro Acosta was again a massive standout on the KTM compared to the rest of them. Anea did pretty well. I'm not sure he'll do that consistently. And Marquez was saying that he's using the 2024 Aero because it's easier to ride because he's not fit 100% yet. So he's not injured, but he's not fit. So that's the thing that's somewhat, well, pretty different from Formula One is, you know, these riders are almost always injured or damaged in some way or recovering. So
Yeah.
they're a bit of a different breed, I would say.
Oh
What do
yeah.
you think of the race?
It was rather boring. Um,
Yeah.
it I shouldn't say it was boring because the track is just so beautiful, and there were some spectacular passes. But
Mhm.
if you've got that leaderboard on the side of the screen and you're seeing people move around and they've got a shot of a rider all by himself out the front, like
Yeah.
why like take a lesson from you know Formula One had that until Michael Schumacher came along. Michael
Yeah.
Schumacher was the first person in modern broadcast time that would just drive all by himself and win every race. Not
Mhm.
every race, but you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
and
I
they
remember.
and it was halfway through the second season of them doing that they started showing the dicing in the back. They just have to start showing the dicing in the back.
Yeah, but
Um,
they have before. That's why it's so strange to me. Like we have seen great coverage in the like especially last year. We made a few comments about it. Like the drone coverage was good.
yeah,
They had great shots of the bikes on the side with the drone on the corner and so forth. But and the action downstream. But I imagine we'll get like a YouTube video saying the action you missed, but show it during the race.
yeah, yeah.
It would be good to do that. But Bagnaia fell back again. So let's get into some rumors because I find it interesting given the performances that we're seeing. So Martin to Yamaha, I still think he's like he. They asked him about that, and he says he has no regrets. Um, Money, I guess, because I mean Yamaha could show up with a great bike next season because it's a whole new formula, as it were. But given their current track record, it's highly doubtful. Um, I guess you could say there's no guarantee that Aprilia will have a brilliant bike next season either. So, in one way, you can understand Aprilia offers you, say, 2 million, Yamaha offers you 18. You might go to Yamaha, right?
the other thing is I can't relate a lot to motorcycles unfortunately because I'm relatively new to this sport. You just
Mm,
introduced it to me a few years ago. Um, but there are great champions in car driving that shift teams,
yeah.
and you start to think, why the hell are they doing that? And I would say that easily 70% of the time it works out for them.
Right.
Like you take somebody like Lewis Hamilton shifting from McLaren to Mercedes and then going on to win
Yeah.
arguably 7 championships.
Yeah.
Um, and you look at Alonso, who does the opposite.
Mhm.
Um, you look at Schumacher, who went to Ferrari, who was just a dog of a team and managed to turn it around. So
Yeah.
who's to say that Yamaha can't come back?
Yeah. Yeah. It's we'll see it, but these sort of these decisions by both the teams and the riders that are in the dark for the reason of the new formula as well. But we have Bagnaia rumored apparently to be going to Aprilia, and are they thinking, should we maybe we should have considered someone else? I don't know. Mir is rumored to be going to Trackhouse, so Mir on an Aprilia would be interesting. Of course, Fabio Quartararo to Honda, and
Hmm.
there's a rumor that one of the Moto 2 riders will be at Honda next season, so a whole new lineup for Honda next season.
Well, now there's a team that's had a major turnaround. Hmm.
Uh, and then Pedro Acosta to Ducati with Mark. So looking forward to next season, kind of more than getting through this season, really. But I do have to say, it's great to see the Aprilias doing so well, and we're hopefully Mark and Digia can challenge them and get up there. So we have a lot of good races. Ogura and maybe KTM will help Pedro Acosta be up there consistently. So for rating. It's a yellow flag event for me, and the rider of the event, I'm going to give it to I. Uh, Even though he didn't finish, he recovered from some crashes the previous day and said it robbed him completely of his confidence. And then he recovered his confidence the next day and rode just brilliantly. So I was really impressed by that. What are your ratings and rider?
I I have to give it a green just for the track. And,
Right.
there were some moments in practice, um,
Mm-hmm.
and in qualifying where riders still didn't have the track down, where there were bumps and
Yeah.
people went off. That was kind of frightening.
Yeah.
Um, and it isn't really a motorcycle track in my mind. It's more of a built for cars.
It was
Um,
interesting that Freddie Spencer was involved
yes.
in the design of it. I
Oh, he
thought
was.
that
I
I
didn't know
was,
that.
yeah, yeah, with
Um,
Tilka.
but Green, and I have to give it to Bez
Right. Yeah, he went away, didn't he, and controlled the race. So
and set a new record, didn't he?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, pretty
As we said,
phenomenal.
we got Kimi, Antonelli, and Bez at the top of two Italians at the top of the four and two wheeled sports. So that's pretty interesting.
Hmm.
Um, so Jerez is next in about 3 weeks. So people can recover, people can put some developments on. It's traditionally said the season really starts when they hit Europe, but we'll see how it goes. There's still a lot of races, and I'm really looking forward to Jerez to see if Mark has recovered and can use more different aero, and to see if Digia continues to do what he's doing, and Enea as well, if he can be consistent. So yeah, talk to you in about 3 weeks. Any other
Thanks, Rob.
comments?
No, other
Okay.
than Digi, I just it blows me away that he's so fast in a one lap, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
can't do it for the race.
He he actually went up to Ogura during the press briefings and went up and shook his hand and said, "You're riding really great. I want you to know I admire how well you're doing. I respect you and all that." So nice
Hmm.
to see that. So
Good
okay,
camaraderie. Thanks,
yeah.
Rob.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.